Hello. I've just finished watching the movie Man of God, the film about the life of St. Nectarios, and I thought I'd give some of my first thoughts, general first impressions. This is not a thorough review of the film. If I do one of those, that may come later, but this is just my first thoughts. I very much like the movie. I would highly recommend it to any Orthodox Christian, anybody who is interested in Orthodoxy, or just anybody in general. If you're not Orthodox, or if you've not looked into Orthodoxy, some bits of the film may go over your head, but that it really doesn't matter. I think you'll get the idea of everything going on. But it's a very good representation of the saint's life, I feel. You get the overall... You get why he was so meaningful to the Orthodox Church, especially considering what it was going through at that time in that part of the world. One critique I do have of the film is that it's very much seemed like the movie was in a hurry. Like I had the impression that we were just, as we watched the film, that you're saying, here's this scene, okay, now there's this, now here's this, now here's what happened in this episode of the saint's life, and we're getting glimpses of what the saint went through in his life, but there's no real deep dive into any of those particular episodes of his experience, and of suffering slanderous accusations from jealous or fearful worldly people who were in the Alexandrian church, and his difficulties in securing an income, a means of supporting himself while he was in Greece, and so much just felt glossed over. The film really left me wanting more, which I think was the point, and don't get me wrong, I knew that a lot was going to be left out, just because there's only so much you can cover in a movie about a man who lived such a extraordinary life. But I suppose that's a funny thing to say, that the movie felt like it was in a hurry, too rushed, when it's a 2-hour film. But again, I think the point was to introduce people, to give people a taste of the life of an extraordinary saint of the Orthodox Church, and to leave them wanting more. And it's certainly done that to me. I've been vaguely aware of St. Nectarios' life before this film, but I never really did a deep dive into it. But the film left me wanting to go get any book I can about the saint, and to really read about his life. And but I believe there are certain bits of the film that may go over one's head if they're not familiar with a lot of the writings of St. Nectarios. He was a very prolific writer during his day, and that's referenced to in the film, and we see different glimpses of him writing, and of people talking about how meaningful and enlightening that his writings are. But it almost just, that part of the film almost seemed like it was, imagine a movie about your favorite writer. Of course, the works are going to get referenced, and you'll see cameos of, here's a book that this person wrote. And I feel like that's what you're getting. It's funny, a thing that threw me off, most of the movie is in English, and But sometimes when you see him writing, he's very clearly writing in Greek, or he's very clearly writing in Greek in most of the film. But sometimes you'll see the book that people are reading in the film is very clearly written in English, which is kind of funny, but understandable as the movie is for an English-speaking audience. So I think perhaps if I were making the film, I would have had the focus be on the latter half of his life as he was founding the women's monastery, and how much persecutions he suffered because of slanderous accusations from both Alexandria and from people who did not like what he was doing. This was a period of time when a religious attitude was not very popular in that time of the world. This was when the beginning of what so many Christians are going through now, the continuous assault of secularism and scientism, and evolutionism, Darwinism, and all manner of modern inventions, and that try to deny the importance of religion and that deny the truth of Christianity, and try to suppress that aspect and to keep it into the background of one's existence. You see the beginnings of that sort of attitude. It comes to the forefront of the movie during the time when Secnitarios had a position at a school. It was sort of a combination high school and theological seminary, and you see there's a bit of the president of the school was butting heads with him because he's encouraging the students there to pursue a religious life and to even become priests. And the president, he's more of a secular person. He thinks, he has the idea of religion's kind of a waste of time. Like, he's respectful to the priest to a certain degree, but you can tell he's not a religious person, and he doesn't think it's all that valuable. So there's a bit of a friction between those two, that never really gets resolved, but it kind of hints that it might have gotten resolved, and that's just one of the frustrations of the films, is that it shows little hints and snippets of stuff without actually going into it in depth. Yeah, but I really, really like the film. If I have the opportunity to go see it again, I will go see it again. And it's and I suppose that really sums it up. Go see Man of God. I think it's a great experience for all. So, thank you very much.